Good morning, and we are on day one of the 48th Annual Tosh Holiday Classic, live from York High School in Elmhurst, Illinois. My name is Charlie Specht.
And I'm Brian Grant. Today, the matchup is between Waubonsie Valley and Hinsdale South.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a little bit of background about Hinsdale South, currently they are 4-7, and they're second in the West Suburban Gold Conference. However, they currently have no wins with the team over 500. And they have losses to pretty high-ranked teams in Proviso, Weiss, and Curie. In their last Jack Tosh, they were eliminated in 2 games. However, historically, they are over 500 in the Jack Tosh at 15-14, and had a 3rd place finish in 2015, and even a 4th in 2019, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and for Waubonsie Valley, they're 7-4 coming into the tournament, 1-2 in their conference. All time, their record in the Jack Tosh is 11-9. They were the consolation champion in 2013. Recently, they've lost to Bolingbrook, which is a really good squad. They only lost by 3, 72-69. They average about 60 points per game on offense, so it's a pretty good offensive squad. And they're on a 2-game skid coming into the tournament.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear coming into this. You'd like to think Waubonsie are the favorites. However, Hinsdale South has played very, very well in this tournament, especially recently. So, you know, one kid gets hot, it comes down to anything. And we like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. You know, today's York Sports Network stream is sponsored by the following Elmhurst small businesses: Kelly Stetler of Compass Realty, Elmhurst Camera, which is located on Spring Road, family owned and community loved, and finally the Sutter Law Group for all your personal injury and defense litigation. Why I send thanks to all of our amazing sponsors right before our tip off.
Starting for Waubonsie Valley is number 3, Trey Blissett, a 6'5" guard/forward, junior. As they're going to win the tip early, go down the court, 5 seconds in, a layup. Also starting for Waubonsie Valley, Tyreek Coleman, a 6-foot guard. He's a sophomore. Elijah Whitaker, number 14, Shoy Rothi, and Jackson Langendorf, the big man, 6'6" in the middle.
And your starters for Hinsdale South is going to be Jack Weigas, number 2 at the guard. Elijah Fields also at the guard, senior, number 13. Brendan Savage, number 21 at the 3 spot. Number 23, Matt Rudolph, the senior at the forward. And then Aiden Farrer, apologies if I pronounced that wrong, number 30. He's also going to be playing the forward for Hinsdale South as they move down to the left corner. Back up to Savage. That's going to be a 3 for Hinsdale South, and that's going to go in. 2 shots, 2 scores for both teams. Waubonsie brings up the court. And that's a quick turnover, and Hinsdale South's going to be coming down on offense. So it seems like Tyree Coleman's going to be running the point for Waubonsie. Only a sophomore. It looks like we're going to have Savage playing the point for Hinsdale South this game. Back out to Savage. Another 3 in that corner. That's going to be right off the rim. That's going to be rebounded by Waubonsie. And they're going to push it fast. Quick 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Hinsdale South.
Seems like this is going to be a very quick game, fast-paced so far. So foul called.
Yeah, that's a tough foul right there. But, yeah, both teams really, really pushing it down the court. And that doesn't shock me. Both of these teams are fairly undersized. Waubonsie having a little bit of a height advantage for sure, but both are on the undersized part.
The tallest player on the floor, 6'6" currently.
Waubonsie doing a really good job of trying to stay on the ball.
Waubonsie is running their 3-2 defense, so look for Hinsdale South to be hitting the corner for open 3 looks.
We've already seen that earlier, right? 2 attempted corner 3s, but that's going to be a quick turnover for Hinsdale South, and it's going to be a Waubonsie ball. The sophomore Coleman's going to bring it up. Back up to the point. Whoa, great cut and great steal by Hinsdale South. Hinsdale South playing great defense so far, only allowing 1 shot on 4 possessions.
Great job to get a hand in there and force a turnover.
Hinsdale South taking their time. Oh, that's going to be another turnover.
Oh, a nice cross from right to left, getting into the paint.
And that's the junior Trey Blissett.
And one opportunity.
Oh, and he's not going to execute there. And Hinsdale South's going to get the rebound. And they're going to push right down the court. Savage to the corner. Go, tough rebound. Waubonsie pushing fast again. Trapped in the corner. Great defense by Hinsdale South. Tough shot. It's good. Savage is on the board.
Nice pull-up jumper there from Brendan Savage.
Oh, and he's wide open on the block, and that's going to be off. Great oh, and they're going to call the foul. So that was a great recovery by Aiden Farrer there.
Yeah, I think Langendorf's just got to go up stronger there.
Yeah. But both teams seemingly so far really playing tough defense.
First one's good.
And we're going to have the first substitution of the game. Eric Chitlinov is going to come in for number 21, Shul Rothi.
Second one's off the back rim, rebounded by Hinsdale South. Aaron pass, turnover.
That's another foul. That's our fourth foul of the game in the first 5-ish minutes.
Hinsdale South foul number 2, Jack Regas, his first, team's third, Waubonsie Valley basketball out of bounds.
Sophomore again. Hinsdale South playing great defense right now. Waubonsie trying to work it in. Here comes Coleman. Tough shot. Great defense by Hinsdale South. They're going to get the rebound, but now it's going to be a scrap for it. And there's going to be a foul called. No indication yet, and it looks like it's going to be Hinsdale South ball.
Waubonsie Valley foul number 14.
Terry Coleman so far early in the game has done a great job of being able to get to the rim. Unfortunately, wasn't able to finish that one.
Yeah, especially as a sophomore. He's facilitating the offense really well right now.
You see Waubonsie Valley's pushing up full court for their press.
Yeah, and you could think that could be a result of Chitlinov, number 10, coming into the game. And we switch up the personnel a little bit.
The press worked as they get the 10-second violation, so Waubonsie Valley will retain possession.
Here comes Coleman. Back out to Whitaker. Him and Coleman have kind of been going hand to hand at the top of the key. And that's going to be another turnover. And that's going to be Hinsdale South ball.
Langendorf's pass just wasn't able to go to anybody.
And it's going to be Savage again for the Hornets bringing it up. That's a tough shot right there by Matt Rudolph for Hinsdale South. Oh, passes up the three. Tough finish. Isn't able to get it in. Waubonsie's really has some chances near the rim and hasn't seemed to execute besides the three-point play.
Elijah Whitaker fought there for the jump ball. Hinsdale South is going to get the ball back.
Waubonsie still pressing high, but Hinsdale South's going to be able to get it in. That's Elijah Fields with the ball at the top of the key. Over to Savage. Tough pass by Fields. Savage for the three. And that's going to, a chance at a 4-point play right here for Hinsdale South. Jumping out to a 5-point lead early.
That's a big three.
That's a big three by the point guard.
So far, Savage has 5 of the 10.
That's going to be another there's going to be another substitution for Waubonsie. Number 14, Elijah Whitaker is going to come off the floor, and he's going to be substituted in for Tyler Threat, probably the best name in this tournament. As Savage executes the 4-point play, and Coleman's going to bring it up for Waubonsie. Over to Annie Willen, who's came into the game. Over to Threat. Threat seemingly playing the point now. Back to Willen. Great pass to Coleman, and Waubonsie's going to finish. That's right, they're going to finish the layup. And they're going to cut the lead to 4, and they're going to go right into their high press. Hinsdale South breaking it pretty easily as of right now. And yet again, Savage for the corner three. Just off the rim. Good rebound by Threat. And Waubonsie's going to go right down the floor and push it. Tough finish. Waubonsie cuts it to a 1-score game, and it's 11-9 Hinsdale South.
Waubonsie has really showed their ability to get to the rim quickly so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think that could also, oh, and as I said, great finish.
It's a great inside pass there from Savage.
And that's going to be Chris Bolt, the freshman. That's right, freshman for Hinsdale South. Waubonsie really trying to work that low block. And that's a tough finish.
Another inside bucket there from Jackson Langendorf.
And it's clear Waubonsie Valley is trying to use the height advantage a little bit. Hinsdale South doesn't really have anyone in right now that can match their height.
Waubonsie Valley continuing to play this 3-2 defense.
That's a tough shot, and that's going to be a foul. 2 shots at the line for number 12, Mattis Pexulis, the 6-foot junior.
Number 12, Tyreek Coleman, his first team's 4th in line to shoot 2. Number 12, Mattis Pexulis.
Can't get the first one to go.
Second one's good.
And Threat's going to bring up the floor for Waubonsie Valley. A little bit of a change. That's a tough move.
And one.
Might be the sweetest basket of the day. That's 25, Jackson Langendorf.
So far, he's got 7 of the 13 for Waubonsie Valley.
Tallest player in this game. And he executes a 3-point play. Waubonsie's going to go straight into their high press. Pexulis with the ball. Oh, tough pass. Great steal by Colin, the sophomore. And he's going to bring it up.
Waubonsie Valley is going to look to slow it down with only 24 seconds left in the first quarter.
Coleman's going to be at the point. Looks like they're going to have him facilitate for last shot. He's going to find Langendorf. Open 3 look. Just off the front rim. Rebound Savage. Shot as time expires. Just left. And we're going to end the first quarter Locked at 14. So definitely a little bit of a shock here, I would think, Brian, right?
Yeah, I mean, both teams came off to a hot start, making their first bucket. It took a little bit of a slower pace after that. A lot of fouls so far, 8 in the first quarter. You know, both teams are running their zones. Waubonsie Valley is playing a 3-2. So I would say still look for Hinsdale South to try and hit that corner 3. And then Hinsdale South is playing their 2-3 respectively on their side of the defense. And Waubonsie Valley has been able to get inside and get tough finishes as they are the bigger team.
Yeah. All right. And we're going to go right to our sponsors. And we'll be right back after the end of the first quarter. All right, and we're back. Waubonsie's going to inbound. And we're going to have a new substitution in the game for Waubonsie. Number 22, Matt Sesam, the junior. But typically we're going to have Coleman bringing it up over the threat. Back to Coleman. And that pass is going to be intercepted.
So it looks like Hinsdale South changed their defense up to a trap at half court.
And threat's going to go right down. Ooh, tough Euro and tough finish.
Nice Euro stuff to get inside.
Yeah, we've seen some athletic finishes by Waubonsie so far this game.
Those are threats' first 2 points of the game.
Tough find inside, and it's going to stay with Hinsdale South. Pexulis to inbound. Can't find anybody. He finds Ferrari. My apologies again. Pexulis, top of the key, great find. Hinsdale South moving it quick. Finds the open 3. Nate Markopoulos with the 3.
I mean, quick ball movement there from Hinsdale South. Leads to the 3 as they take a 1-point lead. Hinsdale South is going to continue running this half-court trap.
Tough 3, and it's good. Eric Chitlinoff, the 6'3" senior.
He responds with a 3 of his own to take back that 2-point lead.
South doing a really good job of breaking the press so far, but they're going to lose it there, and that's going to be Waubonsie ball. And the substitution is going to be Braylon Spicer, and the sophomore Coleman's going to come out for the first time. Spicer going right to the point, over the threat. Back to Spicer. Nowhere to go. Hinsdale South cannot come up with a steal after a great tip. Threat. Pass too hot, and that's going to be Hinsdale South ball. The senior Rudolph's going to come back into the game. He started, and Weigis is going to come out for Hinsdale South.
So far, the second quarter is picking up with the first left off. Very fast-paced game. Defensively, we're seeing a lot of traps now at half court. Hinsdale South is going to be able to break the trap.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of that so far this game. Waubonsie really hasn't been able to force many turnovers on Hinsdale South's own side of the court.
That's why I think this game is still so close. And on the other end, Hinsdale South has been able to force a few turnovers consecutively.
Oh.
Ow.
Yeah. Now Hinsdale South taking their time. Tough floater, won't go. And that's going to be a rebound for Waubonsie. And you're going to have Spicer bring it up. They're going to move quick. Corner 3. just off the back rim. And that's going to be Hinsdale South ball. And we're going to have a substitution. Ryan Morton's going to check into the game for Waubonsie, the junior, and he's going to take out Jackson Langendorf, who's the highest scorer so far for Waubonsie.
So far, Waubonsie has brought 5 different players off the bench, so looks like they're a pretty deep team. A lot of players that can play and they trust.
Yeah, and that's not shocking running a high press like that, right? You're going to get a lot of guys running out of juice pretty quick, so you got to have a deep team. And that's going to be a missed shot by 20 for Hinsdale South. Kristen Bolt, the freshman. And Waubonsie pushes it back up fast. Over to Threat on the right wing. Great defense by Nate Markopoulos, the senior, who came off the bench.
Watch too much World Cup. Kickball violation.
That's going to be Morton to inbound for Waubonsie. And he's going to go right back to Spicer. Spicer not as aggressive to drive at the point position as it seems Coleman was earlier in the game. So, you know, that might change a little bit how Waubonsie runs their offense. But Hinsdale South's going to come right down the court and miss a finish. And per usual, Waubonsie's going to press right back.
I think Waubonsie is still trying to figure out Hinsdale South's defense a little bit. Taking it a little bit slower is they're going to be called for a jump ball.
Yeah, and it seems like Langendorf's not being in the game has kind of really shaped their offense, because when he was in, they would just kind of feed him on the block, and he would almost facilitate from there a little bit. But not having him in, they're a little bit more undersized, and they got to move the ball up top a lot faster. So it almost seems like 2 different teams. As Hinsdale South attempts to break the press here. Waubonsie really flying to the ball. There was 3 guys on the ball at one point right there.
There's a tip ball, goes out of bounds. We'll stay down here for Hinsdale South.
And we have another substitution. Mattis Pixulish, who's been playing the point, is going to come out of the game. And number 2, Jack Weigas, the starter, is going to come back in. And then as I say that, a familiar face, Savage is going to come back. And Aiden Farrer is going to come out for the Hornets. As Savage right away gets it poked away by Spicer. Waubonsie moving right back down the court, but they're going to slow it up now. Great find. Can't finish, but he's going to get 2 chances at the line. As Trey Blissett, the starter, is not going to check in yet because there's 2 shots, but he will be coming in for number 22, Matt Sassam.
You know, after I said this has been a fast-paced second quarter, there's not been a single bucket made.
And we're going to have the first timeout of the second quarter. So, building off of that, so far, what are we thinking? I mean, typical of the first quarter?
I mean, you said it. Whenever number 25 for Waubonsie Valley, Jackson Langendorf, comes off the floor, they have to play a different style of offense, and it doesn't seem like it's been working. So I think they're definitely going to check him back in, probably after this timeout, and try and get something going back in the middle. Because that's how you see a lot of teams beat these types of traps and zones consistently, is get your big man down low on the block and let him either make a play or pass it off to somebody else.
Right, and then you look at Hinsdale South, you know, on the stat sheet, they're definitely someone that's going to be outmatched. And what they've done is they've played the high press, and that's something that you have to do to beat teams where you might be outskilled. And they've done a great job of it so far. I mean, it's a 2-point game with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So I'm guessing they're going to keep that up. Waubonsie's going to keep up what they're doing, and we're going to get a familiar story in the third and fourth quarter.
And, you know, in the past 2 to 3 minutes of this quarter, Hinsdale South was starting to turn the ball over a little bit more, and that slowed down their offense a lot. As we said, they were doing a very good job at breaking the press in the first.
Yeah, Waubonsie's kind of struggled with forcing those turnovers on Hinsdale South's own half, and I think it's kind of shot him in the foot a little bit.
Second one's good.
Waubonsie out to a 3-point lead now. But Hinsdale South looks like they're going to move Hinsdale South at top of the key. Finds the freshman inside, but that's going to be a foul.
Just an update on the other game. In the South Gym, Naperville North leads Glenbard West 35-27 with 8 minutes left to go. Or they're just starting the fourth now. So Naperville North sitting on an 8-point lead there and going into the fourth.
And of course, Glenbard West, champions of the Jack Tosh last year. Savage is going to look for the freshman inside. Can't find him. And Waubonsie's going to push up the floor. We're going to have Blissett bring it down, which we haven't seen so far, but he's going to dump it off to a familiar face in Coleman. Whitaker back to Coleman. In the corner. And that's good. Waubonsie out to their biggest lead of the day.
Waubonsie subbed back in Trey Blissett and Jackson Langendorf, which adds a lot of size. Two biggest guys on the court, 6'5" and 6'6". So like we said before, they're going to look to get the ball to them low, make them make plays, and it opened up the corner shot there for Rothi.
Yeah, Hinsdale South's going to have to figure out how they're going to adjust to that. As we're going to see Elijah Fields come back into the game, another starter. So Hinsdale South's trying to rotate back in what seems like their best five, as they've kind of got a hill to climb here, being down 6. That's going to be another foul. Savage is going to pass it right back in. And we're going to have a substitution. Number 10, Eric Chitlinov, who hit a great 3 earlier, is going to come into the game for number 14, Elijah Whitaker.
Points have been very spread out for both teams so far. There's a steal off the inbound there for Waubonsie Valley.
And it seems like this trap might be wearing down a little bit on Hinsdale South. Although that was just an inbound, they're really, really pressing. And I think it's starting to finally cause some troubles for Hinsdale South. And that's going to be Hinsdale South basketball. Markopoulos to inbound. It's back to Bolt. Over to Farrer. Back to Markopoulos. Back to Bolt. Back to Markopoulos. Tough shot right there. Can't finish. Markopoulos, it looks like we're going to draw a jump ball. And that's going to be Waubonsie ball. Langendorf to inbound. And Coleman's going to bring it up for Waubonsie. Back to Langendorf. Playing outside the three-point arc. Tough shot right there. Isn't going to get it to go. But Waubonsie's going to come up with the rebound. Chitlinov for the three. Can't get it to go. Pile up for the ball. Coleman comes out with it. Chitlinov. And that's going to go. Wow. Trey Blissett with the corner three for Waubonsie.
There's a perfect example of why rebounding is so, so important.
Yeah,
His 2 shots is able to get 2 offensive rebounds, led to 3 points.
Yeah, that was just a hustle play right there by Waubonsie to come up with 3. And another steal. And if we get a jump, that's going to be Hinsdale South ball, and it is.
A little scrum right in front of us.
Yeah, Hinsdale South cannot afford to turn over the ball at this point. Really struggled to score in the second quarter.
And we're seeing one of the runs that is just so common in these tournaments. Waubonsie Valley was able to just put up 9 points very, very quickly to build this lead.
Farrer at the top. Finds Markopoulos, tough 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound Waubonsie, and Coleman's going to push the pace. Over to Chitlinov. Back to Langendorf. Trying to find some space on Savage, but can't. 30 seconds left, so you might think the Warriors will take their time. To Langendorf. And Waubonsie is going to hold for last shot here. Oh, and Savage almost comes up with the steal, but Coleman, tough mid-range, can't get it to go. And Waubonsie is going to go into the half with a 9-point lead. And Brian, I'm going to ask you, why did Waubonsie pull away in that second quarter?
Like we said, in the last 5 minutes of that quarter, Hinsdale South is a little bit sloppy. Waubonsie Valley's trap was really getting to them. They were able to force a ton of turnovers, which led to transition points.
And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Kenny Stetler of Compass Realty, as well as Elmer's Camera, and finally the Sutter Law Group. And once again, I'm Charlie Specht, live from the 47th Annual Jack Tosh Holiday Classic.
And I'm Brian Grant.
And
We'll be back after halftime.
Perfect. All right, and welcome back, everybody. Waubonsie's going to start with the ball with a 9-point lead. And we're going to see a typical lineup from Waubonsie as they're going to take a quick three, rebound, and a foul. Early foul by Matt Rudolph for Hinsdale South. Waubonsie's going to go right to the line. Number 3, Trey Blissett. He gets the first one to go. And we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Kelly Stetler, Compass Realty, Elmer's Camera, and finally the Sutter Law Group. And cannot get the second one to go as Savage is going to try and push the pace. Quickly met by Coleman. Over to Fields. Fields is going to lose it. And that's going to be Waubonsie ball. And to give you guys just a quick update, Naperville North is going to win versus Glenbard West as they have an 8-point lead with about 9.1 left in the South Gym. And it looks like Waubonsie's going to turn the ball over. Hinsdale South with a much-needed turnover there.
They're going to have to keep causing a lot of turnovers this half and try and break this press.
Now the 9-point deficit has already grown to 10, and Hinsdale South has not gotten a shot off yet. And 10-second violation, the second time this game. Hinsdale South has turned it over like that, and that's going to be right back to Waubonsie basketball. Coleman bringing it up for Waubonsie, over to Whitaker. Finds Coleman. Over to Rothy. Just off the back rim. Great rebound by Waubonsie, but no, he's going to lose it. And Hinsdale South with another quick turnover. And they're going to pay for it as Langendorf finishes at the rim. The lead has grown to 12.
There's a nice dish there from Blissett after getting the steal.
And Waubonsie coming out with a lot of grit so far in this second half. And that's going to be a timeout. Hinsdale South kind of sputtering so far in the second half, and we've only played a few minutes.
And coming out of halftime, they really can't get anything going. Still cannot beat this press from Waubonsie. And, you know, they've been known to run this. It's helped them win their games so far this year. I was expecting a little bit of a higher scoring game so far, but a lot of missed shots in the second quarter. Lots of turnovers.
Yeah, both teams averaging over 50, so wouldn't be surprised if Waubonsie gets to that mark, but Hinsdale South still only with 17.
Yeah, in the first half, Waubonsie had 8 turnovers to Hinsdale South 6.
Both teams, you know, playing a similar style of offense and defense, just Waubonsie executing at a higher level right now. South looking to make up some ground. Markopoulos gets it taken away. Whitaker to push the floor for Waubonsie, and he's moving fast. Blissett over to Whitaker. Over to Coleman. Rothy. Blissett calls for the screen. Tough shot at the free throw arc, and that's good. Waubonsie grows their lead to 14. And an and one. That's going to be Blissett finishing it for Waubonsie. Lead now at, oh, my apologies. That's going to be Savage finishing it for Hinsdale South. And the lead's cut to 12. That's going to be Blissett checking out of the game for Waubonsie. And Chitlinov's going to come in the shooter for Waubonsie. Savage finishes the three-point play, cuts the lead to 11.
They're going to need a lot from Savage to cut this lead down. He's got 9 of 20 so far, their leading scorer. That's stolen away. Quick bucket there from Fields.
Something that's came, to a little bit of a shock. Weigis, who's usually Hinsdale South's leading scorer, is yet to get on the stat sheet tonight with a bucket. But that's going to be a quick foul.
Hinsdale South foul number 23, Matt Rudolph, his team second.
And an inbound for Waubonsie.
Waubonsie Valley basketball out of bounds.
Finds Langendorf, who just uses his height, but is going to go off the rim. Savage pushing the pace. Looks for Weigis in the corner, but can't finish. And it's going to be Hinsdale South basketball to inbound. Savage to Fields. Fields getting trapped immediately. And gets it poking away. Chitlinoff pushing the pace to Coleman. Coleman. And it's going to be a charge. Great take right there by the sophomore Weigis. That's going to be Hinsdale South basketball.
Referee with a little dramatic effect, waiting to call a charge after the basket was good.
Had to let the people know, as Weigis is going to inbound.
Seems like so far every single time Hinsdale South has tried to get inside, a turnover is caused, either from a pass or poked away.
Yeah, they've really executed well on, beyond the arc and at the free throw line, but it seems like it's about it.
Once again, another jump ball is called. Stay down
Hinsdale,
for Hinsdale South.
Hinsdale South basketball. Pixulis to inbound. Finds Weigis, gets swatted away. That's going to be number 3, Trey Blissett, as they push the pace immediately. Chitlinov to Coleman, the sophomore. Off the front rib, quick rebound. Great sequence right there by Trey Blissett. He pushed the pace down after the block. Found Coleman after the missed shot finish, as Hinsdale South can go right back to trying to break the trap. Finds Savage, and Savage finishes. Hinsdale South answers immediately and comes to lead to single digits. Chilinov over to Langendorf. He's going to take a 3. Way off the back rim, but a tough. And we're going to have a foul called on 21, Rothi for Waubonsie.
His second, team's third. Hinsdale South basketball out of bounds. Hinsdale South number 20, Chris.
And the freshman, number 20, Chris Bolt. Gets the ball right off the inbound. Hinsdale South's got to get over the line right now, and does. Finds Savage. Far air. Looks for someone. Pexulis stays with it. Tough mid-range. Can't finish, and Blissette's going to push it down the court for Waubonsie. Rothi to Coleman. Coleman with a sweet dish to Langendorf. Can't finish. Rothy's going to get the rebound. He's going to finish. His second bucket of the day. As Savage almost gets it taken away. But it's going to remain a Hinsdale South ball with the foul.
Waubonsie foul number 21, Joey Rathi, his third, team's fourth.
As Tyler Threat is going to check into the game. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry, but that's pretty sweet. Savage is going to push it up for Hinsdale South. Oh. Pexulis Savage finds Pexulis in the right corner. Back to Savage. Far. Bolt gets it poking away, and Coleman's on the fast break, but Bolt's going to try and finish and cannot. Coleman's going to get the bucket. He's looking for a foul, but the lead's going to grow to 13.
Boltman and Ice Play coming back to contest that shot.
A tough finish, especially by a sophomore.
Great finish from Coleman.
Savage to Weigis. Weigis' first three of the game is good. He's on the board, and Hinsdale South has cut the lead to 10.
They're going to need a big spark from him.
Threat can't finish. Exactly what Hinsdale South needs. Over to far air. It gets swatted by Langendorf, and he's going to get the rebound. One of the better plays of the day by Langendorf. Waubonsie straight into a three.
He's going to grab another rebound.
And now they're going to slow it down. One of the crazier sequences of a day that's been filled with just fast-paced buckets. Chitlin off at the top. Over to Langendorf. Great pass to Threat. Trying to feed Langendorf. They did it early in the game. Tillinoff's not going to take the three. Waubonsie taking their time for what seemingly feels like the first time this game.
So they're slowing it down a lot on this possession, working for their shot, and Hinsdale South is making them work really, really hard to get an open look. Langendorf's got a matchup inside. I'm going to call a charge.
Actually, Lewis draws the charge on the biggest guy on the floor.
Langendorf is first, team's fifth. Hinsdale South basketball out of bounds.
Hinsdale's able to break the trap. Why gets to Pexulis. Savage for three. Can't get it to go. Scrap for the ball. Weigis for three. Gets it to go. Weigis starting to get hot. The leading scorer for Hinsdale South so far this season now has 6 on back-to-back offensive possessions. And the lead is cut to 7 with 45 left in the third.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised to see him not really make an impact in the first half, but came out firing in the third. He's going to have to look to cut this 7-point lead down with a big fourth quarter.
That's going to be a quick reach right there by Savage. And you'd think Waubonsie, who's actually had the last shot in the first 2 quarters, you would think would try and hold it here again for the last shot.
.30 seconds to go.
Ooh, that's another foul on Hinsdale South. His first foul of the day. Coleman's going to bring it up for Waubonsie. Over to Threat. Langendorf playing above the three-point arc. They're going to try and open it up. No, it's going to go to Langendorf, who finds a quick feed inside and almost. He almost finishes at the rim, but he's going to get fouled. And Waubonsie can grow their lead to 9 at the free throw line with 1.2 remaining. He makes the first one. Second attempt here. Can't get it to go. And the clock's going to run out. Almost goes in. But at the end of three, Hinsdale South's been able to cut the lead, but Waubonsie does still lead by 8.
Yeah, they got Weigis coming back, making 2 big threes. Still, I'm looking for him to have a big fourth quarter, try and cut this lead down. And Hinsdale South did a good job cutting their losses, not really getting that many turnovers there at the end of the third quarter. Made up for the slow start at the start of that half. And then for Waubonsie, not much going for them offensively so far in this quarter. I mean, you saw a little bit from Blissett. I think he brought a spark for sure with his height and defensive ability. And also Langendorf down low, defensively has been unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, Hinsdale South's really only been able to execute outside the three-point arc.
And then before we get back, we would just like to remind you that today's stream is sponsored by Kelly Stetler of the Compass Realty, Elmer's Camera, which is family owned and community loved, as well as Sutter Law Group for all your personal injury and defense litigation. We'd like to thank them again for sponsoring our stream.
To begin the fourth quarter, it'll be Waubonsie Valley basketball in the alternate possession.
And we're back for the start of the fourth. Familiar face Coleman's going to bring it up. Kind of dribbles it to Langendorf in the right corner. Almost poked away. Great find inside. Great sequence right there, but there's going to be a foul. Langendorf's going to go to the line. That's
Great
a foul.
passes to get it inside to Langendorf.
20, Chris Bolte, his first team sixth.
Yeah, Waubonsie already coming out hot in this fourth quarter. Gets the first one to go. Chance to grow the lead to double digits here. Well, I guess to fire. Finds Savage. The freshman Bolt. Weigas deep three. In and out for Hinsdale South. Almost a great chance there as Coleman's going to push the pace. But they're going to lose it. My apologies. Weigas pushing the floor. Gets it poked away. But it will remain Hinsdale South ball.
Weigas was looking for a foul there on his shot attempt.
You can already tell he's kind of started to push the pace and be more aggressive just overall as a player in the second half. So he's going to get an open three right here. And yet again, in and out. And Bolt's just going to toss it away.
Good offensive rebound. He just couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, Weigas 2 3-point attempts so far in this fourth quarter. Both just gone right in and out. Coleman's going to push it for Waubonsie.
I mean, if Weigas gets hot, this lead is definitely not safe.
Yeah, not insurmountable at all, for sure. Threat, great find inside. No foul call right there. Savage tried to draw the charge. But Coleman's going to get an open three, and he's going to get it to go. The lead grows to 13.
You know, so far for Waubonsie, the scoring has been very spread out between all 5 of their starters.
And yeah, it seems like the guys they've brought off the bench has been more for defensive help as Savage gets a chance at a 3-point play here.
Waubonsie Valley foul number 5, Tyler Freaks, his first team sixth. The line to shoot 1, Brendan Savage.
And the junior cuts the lead to 10, and we're going to get a quick Hinsdale South timeout.
Hinsdale South will be a full 60-second timeout.
10-point lead for Waubonsie here in the fourth quarter with 6.5 left to go. Charlie, what does Hinsdale South need to do to try and get this lead turned?
Well, at this point, you just got to start making some shots. I know that sounds simple, but it's just what they've got to do. They've had some open looks. You know, Weigas has had 2 great 3-point attempts. You know, that would have cut the lead to 2 scores. And most importantly, something they've really struggled with in the second half, and I think did a better job with in the first, is not turning over the ball on their own side of the court. You know, whether it's a 10-second violation or just a steal, Hinsdale South's got to be able to press the pace, find open looks, and be able to score outside and inside. Yeah, and I mean, you look at the first half, Hinsdale South and Waubonsie were tight, 14-14 at the end of the first. And then the overall scoring, Hinsdale South had 3 points in the second quarter to Waubonsie's 12. So it's kind of been a tale of 4 completely different quarters, but Hinsdale South kind of just won the overall battle.
Yeah, and I mean, you can blame that on Waubonsie's press, causing so many problems for Hinsdale South in that second quarter, causing a lot of turnovers, because that's when they really switched it to that that press and that trap.
Right, and that can also make Hinsdale South have to rotate some of their starters, as their starters are kind of in the key to their scoring. That wears them out, and they've kind of had to go to a deeper bench, and it's not something they do very often. Coleman the threat. Threat been more of a facilitator so far this game. Chilinoff, who almost had one of the better finishes I've seen in person in the first half. Langendorf finds threat long. Langendorf for 3 guys on him, can't finish. Savage doing a great job of guarding the big man. Great find, Weiges to fire, can't finish. And as we said after the timeout, those are the finishes Hinsdale South's going to need if they want to cut this lead.
Waubonsie has been doing a really good job all game at getting back on defense and not letting Hinsdale South just have those easy transition layups. They're contesting them every single time.
Yeah, they clearly are a team that plays with a lot of speed and a lot of stamina. The set finds threat. So that's going to push the pace. Chilinoff, the great cut. Langendorf, great pass. And that's going to be a Waubonsie bucket as they grow the lead to 12. Hinsdale South really trying to score in that right corner, but now we're going to move it over to the left. Savage and Weiges, it seems like, are trying to facilitate this game as Weiges is going to get an open 3 look, and he connects that time.
Can't leave him open.
Cannot leave him open. He's hot right now, and Hinsdale South needs that as the lead is cut to single digits with 4:20 remaining. Oh, and a great steal by Farr there. He's got to finish this. And he does. He throws it down for Hinsdale South. And that could be the momentum changer they need, as that bench is electric right now.
Waubonsie needed to call a timeout there.
Hinsdale South flips this game on its head a little bit right here, as this lead is cut to 7 with only 4:09 remaining.
I mean, a quick 3 from Weiges and then into a steal and a slam.
One of the better finishes I've definitely seen. You have to think that Hinsdale South is just going to keep doing what they're doing this fourth quarter. They've been a lot more aggressive. They finally started to generate some steals that have turned to buckets. As those fast breaks, they've really struggled with this game. So Waubonsie, it's hard to think that they're going to change what they're doing off of something like that, but Hinsdale South definitely with the momentum coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, I'd just say Waubonsie will start to just play slower, take more time off every single possession. There's no need to push it quickly and cause turnovers for yourself.
And in case some viewers were wondering, there is no shot clock at the Jack Tosh tournament. Something has been implemented, but it is not here at this tournament. Lissette finds Chilinoff. Over to Langendorf. Really press hard. Coleman to Lissette. Waubonsie really taking their time here. Savage on Rothi. Over to Blissett. Langendorf was open at the bottom. He called for it. Waubonsie really taking their time here.
Wasted a full minute on this possession alone.
Lissette given some space here. Over to Langendorf. Oh, finds Coleman inside. He gets swatted by Brendan Savage, but Rothy's going to come up with the rebound.
Timeout called.
And a big play there by Hinsdale South, but an even bigger one by Rothy to get that rebound. And another opportunity for Waubonsie to keep running this clock.
I mean, they wasted around a minute and 20 seconds on that possession alone. Only one shot attempt. Like we said, no shot clock is really hurting Hinsdale South and not being able to just have Waubonsie Valley force up a shot at some point.
Yeah, it definitely changes the outcome of games. You know, it's they can hold until the end of the game right now if they're able to. Hinsdale South doing a lot better job of being aggressive, and it seems like pressing even on their own side of the court. But Waubonsie doing a great job of taking their time. As Rothy's going to inbound for Waubonsie. And Hinsdale South with a little hiccup there on the substitution side. And it's going to go right back to Coleman, who's going to be guarded by Savage now. Savage, who was on Langendorf earlier.
You know, opposite of what we said about Waubonsie Valley, Hinsdale South really hasn't used that many subs this game.
You could think that might be a reason they're down in this game, because that constant press by Waubonsie is going to really, really tire those guys out. And I'm sure it's exhausting their starters, as Langendorf's going to get a one-on-one here. Langendorf, who was 2 for 3 on free throws in the first half, is going to get the first one to go. And that's big for Waubonsie right there. You'd like to think Hinsdale South would push the pace here, whether this goes in or not. And it does. The lead grows to 9 for Waubonsie. As a starter, number 23, Matt Rudolph, we have not seen him often in this game, but Hinsdale South's going to turn it right over. And Coleman's going to come right down the court. Almost picked away by Rudolph. Blissett finds Coleman over to Chitlinoff, and he's not going to take the three. You'd like to think if there was more time on the clock, that's a shot you'd see him take. Coleman working on far air. To Langendorf. Trying to find some space on Savage. Can't. Almost thrown away. Blissett not taking the three. Hinsdale South is going to foul with 1:55 on the clock, and we're going to have a one-on-one opportunity for Coleman.
Hinsdale South foul number 2, Jack Wegas, his third, team's 8th. At the line to shoot, one of the bonus for Waubonsie, number 12, Tyree Coleman.
There's no good. The rebound from Rothy is put back up.
Another great offensive rebound by Rothy. He got the one earlier where Savage made the block, and it generated points for Waubonsie. As Wegas looking to get a quick bucket here for Hinsdale South. Rudolph over to Savage. Little pump fake, tough mid-range shot. Can't get it to go, and that's going to be a rebound set for Waubonsie with 1:25 on the clock. This game not out of reach for Hinsdale South, but they've got to create something quickly. The big man Langendorf at the top of the key, and he's going to get quickly fouled by Rudolph. And Blissett is going to go to the line.
And looking into the future, the winner of this game, which looks like it's going to be Waubonsie Valley unless, you know, the greatest minute of basketball is played, they're going to go on to play Glenbrook South, and the loser will go on to play St. Francis. Both games tomorrow.
And Blissett gets the first of the one-on-one to go. And this lead grows to 12. And can't get it to go. Savage pushing the pace, and he's going to get fouled quickly.
Waubonsie foul number 12, Tyree Coleman, his third, team's 7th. At the line to shoot, one of the bonus, 20.
Savage with an opportunity here to cut the lead to 10 for Hinsdale South. And gets it to go. The freshman Bolt is going to check in for Rudolph. Although he comes off the bench, Bolt has been in the game a lot for this Hinsdale South team. Might match up a lot better with this Waubonsie Valley press. Almost an errant pass right there by Coleman, but we're going to get a Waubonsie timeout. Great call there. And with 53 seconds left, this lead remains at 10 for Waubonsie Valley.
You know, like we said, just expecting Waubonsie Valley to just try and hold on to the ball for as long as they can. Not allow Hinsdale South to have any shot of scoring.
Yeah, you'd think if Hinsdale South does get the opportunity, they've scored really well beyond the arc. It's kind of been the only place they've been able to generate scoring, so.
Yeah, man, if I'm them, you got to go Weigis and hope he makes a three.
Yeah, you need a momentum shifter with something where, you know, if it's a dunk by Farrier earlier or, you know, a quick three by Weigis, you need something right now if you're Hinsdale South. And again, if you guys want to stay tuned, the game after this will be Rolling Meadows versus Montini. As Rothy's going to inbound here for Waubonsie. Finds Blissett. Almost goes backcourt to Coleman, but finds Langendorf. Hinsdale South not electing to foul here. Actually almost draws the jump ball. Quick trap on Coleman. And we're going to get a great timeout call again by Waubonsie. Looks like he almost stepped out of bounds. And with 39.5 left, the lead remains the same. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Kenny Stetler of Compass Realty, Elmer's Camera, and the Sutter Law Group. Again, we'd like to thank you guys for making streams like this possible. And a quick foul right there by Fields for Hinsdale South, and Coleman's going to go to the line. And if you guys would like to stay tuned, there will be a quick interview with Coach Schweitzer from Waubonsie Valley after the game with his first Jack Tosh win. Waubonsie clearly stressing to not foul if Hinsdale South gets the ball. Hinsdale South pushing the pace quickly over to Fields. Woo! Tough Euro step by Fields right there, and he's going to get it to go. The lead still at 10, and Hinsdale South's going to elect a foul with 25 left.
I'm honestly surprised to not see a travel call right there. Looked like a few stops, but it was a nice move.
And Langendorf gets the first one to go. The lead grows to 11.
He's been very, very solid from the free throw line today.
He has, especially as a big man. He's done a really, really good job. And a quick rebound by Waubonsie, and Hinsdale South is still going to elect a foul.
Hinsdale South foul number 12, Matas Zulis, is second.
Once again, they're going to go to the line.
At the line to shoot 2 for Waubonsie Valley, number 21, Joey Matthew.
Yeah, he's OB was over here. He'll be here about 4. We'll have people here all day. People here today.
Rothy at the line. Gets the first one to go. Waubonsie done a great job at the free throw line today.
Good for you. Good for you.
And the second one. Tried to foul his rebound in case he missed it. That would have been his 3rd offensive rebound of the day. He had 2 critical ones earlier.
And he got up to double digits with those 2 free throws at 10 points now.
Sorry. That was
Wow.
Ligas, I mean, he showed up in the second half. Despite the score, he really showed up in the second half. As Waubonsie is going to get the win here against Hinsdale South, 56-45.
Once again, Waubonsie Valley will go on to play Glenbrook South tomorrow at 3:30 in the winners bracket, while St. Francis versus Hinsdale South will be at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning in the consolation bracket. And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Kelly Stetler of Compass Realty, as well as Elmhurst Camera, and finally the Sutter Law Group. Once again, I'm Brian Grant, alongside with Charlie Specht, as he will be doing an interview with Waubonsie Valley's head coach after this. This is live from the 48th Annual Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Schweitzer, you got it.
All right, I'm Charlie Specht, and I'm joined with Coach Schweitzer of Waubonsie Valley, and I just want to ask you, what did you guys do so well in a great defensive effort?
I thought after the first quarter, we did a lot better job in terms of ramping the pressure up in good spots, ball pressure. I'm really happy with how we ended the game. Took care of the ball, we hit our free throws. It's good to get back in the win column. So just to start though.
And talking about winning, this is your first Jack Tosh win as a coach for Waubonsie, and how does that feel?
Feels good, but I know every matchup's going to present something unique. It's going to get tough. Every game's going to be tough for us. So anytime you get a win, we're happy, but it's right back to work tomorrow.
I love it. All right, again, congrats, Coach, and thank you. Was that good? That's something I haven't done yet, so yeah. Oh, that was fun, man. That was a closer game than I thought, too. I thought they were going to smoke.